Last time on the Alpha Male Universe.
You know, as much as I said I wanted to fight, I never really wanted to fight. I've been done fighting for 20 years. But this time around, it's for you.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
You see, I took on a fight. And that fight is not just a normal fight. Look, a lot of people are doubting me. A lot of people are rooting for me to lose. Why? Because they hate us for being Jewish. August 29th, I promise you, either the first round or early second round, Gypsy Crusader will go to sleep. And he's not coming back up after.
Welcome to the Alpha Male Universe. So good morning or night, depending wherever you are in the world watching this, because we're once again embarking on the story of the princess. So everybody really at this point knows that he got utterly exposed by a former UFC fighter. It was absolutely devastating for Azoulay's reputation, besides his S-crime conviction and all the other nonsense he's been involved with. And really, everybody has destroyed him. Well, that trend is going to continue because for some reason I didn't even know that Azoulay did an interview with someone talking about the big fight between him and Gypsy Crusader. And as you saw in the intro, he's now trying to go like the whole puppy dog eye route. I have no idea why, but you know, with this clown, he's always going to try to find a way to manipulate people. He's apparently trying to fight on behalf of every Jewish person in the world, and we're not going to let him try to frame himself as like a hero because that's just a bunch of bullshit. So we're going to embark on this interview. It's about 25 minutes long, so it's going to be a part 1, part 2. I think it'll probably be like 2 parts, okay? So more AMU slop for you, and let's get this show on the fucking road.
This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined by King Azoulay today over Zoom. King Azoulay, you're fighting a Gypsy Crusader on the Dual Arena card next month. How's everything going?
Been going amazing, brother.
Is this your first time experiencing combat sports, or have you been involved in a while?
It's the first time of me getting in the arena. I believe it's going to be a cage from what I heard. So whether a cage or the ring, it's the first time that I'm stepping in there. But I fought many times before.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would imagine you probably had a few street fights, right? Or you sparred a few times before an event like this?
Yeah, I had a couple thousand fights in my life.
Couple of thousand?
Yeah.
Oh, really? How did those 1,000 fights go?
Pretty well. They were all on the street. I used to fight every single day for a few years straight. For me, it was like a big thing. I loved fighting. Started fighting at 3 years old.
So let me get this straight. Azoulay now is claiming that before he was even potty trained, he was fighting in the streets. I mean, this shit just gets worse and worse. I know it's the meta to say, oh, the situation just gets worse or got worse, whatever. It really does, though. It genuinely does. Every single Azoulay episode, it somehow gets a lower low. And who the fuck is interviewing him? This guy's like AI. Why is it that every single time there's an interviewer with Azoulay, it's just the strangest character ever, honestly. They're like DLC characters. So Azoulay wants you to believe he's been in thousands and thousands of street fights, yet he doesn't have a single scar on his face. I mean, even if you were the greatest fighter to ever walk the earth, you're still gonna take damage. This shit is moronic, man.
Fighting at 3 years old.
Oh, wow. Pretty young.
It's funny because stop laughing. Get out of the car. My boys are laughing. Get me something from Starbucks.
Yeah, what do you want? Americano iced?
Get me a sandwich and no meat, just some egg whites.
Very healthy.
Yeah.
Very healthy
We've been
indeed.
eating donuts. We've been eating donuts, doing kind of like whatever we wanted.
You're not taking this fight
They laugh.
seriously?
Nah.
Oh, really?
What is there to take seriously? I'm fighting a clown.
He's had a lot of fights before, though.
Yeah.
He's had a few kickboxing, and he's fought, obviously, on the brand risk card recently. What do you think about his fight on brand risk?
I thought it was a joke. I think this whole thing is a joke. You have to understand, some people are trained fighters, some people are trained killers.
Not even his team, as he usually says it, can hold it in. They're just laughing at his ass. I mean, this shit is embarrassing. And then to save face, he orders them to go and order a sandwich at Starbucks, because that's super alfalfa. And I showed it in the intro, him saying, I'm taking this fight extremely seriously with his puppy dog eyes. And then now he's saying, I'm not taking it serious. I mean, then what is it, man? What is it? This guy is delusional as hell. And then he finishes by saying, there are trained fighters, and then there are trained killers, trying to imply that he is the latter.
He doesn't have the killer in his eyes. He's unless he was John Jones in his prime, or unless he's one of the top people, there is not much that he could show me. Nothing I haven't seen before. So I bring in people that are ex-UFC fighters to spar me, and I obviously don't show the footage. I like to keep everything behind the scenes. But, at my size and at my speed and my knowledge and my abilities and my background, I used to fight for the Russian mob underground fights when I was like 14, 15, 16. So for me, it was a big thing. Fighting was my life. My dream was to be in the UFC. First time I had a fight was literally at 3 years old. It sounds funny. But in preschool, kindergarten, I smashed a kid with a semi-trailer,
The ball hair of John Jones could beat Azoulay's ass. This shit is just insane to continue hearing him double down on this stupid LARP that he was fighting for the Russian mafia. Was it the Russian mafia though that he said in previous videos, or was it the mob or whatever? I don't know. I can't keep track of all the lies. It sometimes just rots my brain out, and I can't keep track of everything he says. But I heard that right. He said he smashed a 3-year-old with a semi-trailer. Is this full Hulk now? Is this guy LARPing as the Incredible Hulk? I don't even know what's going on anymore. We're so deep in the lies, guys, that I have completely rotted my brain out.
This is how I am, who I am. I've always fought. Today I don't fight anymore on the streets. I haven't fought probably in 15 years on the streets, but I kept training. And I never really trained, too much for fighting, because when it was time to take care of the job, I took care of the job. In ground game, let's say, okay, I'm good.
Well, the fight's kickboxing, so ground game doesn't matter.
Exactly. So I'm not the best. So if somebody comes in and says, well, but if you were in the MMA, I don't fight MMA. I'm a striker. I'm a full-on striker, So when it comes down to striking, Gypsy it's like I'm going to fight literally a clown. There's no fight here,
What do you think of Gypsy Crusader's skills?
I think he's horrible. I think that's why he didn't make it in the fighting realm. I know. I mean, I see his moves. Unfortunately, he's just juiced the fuck out right now. So at least when I saw him in the fight, when he had with that other guy at Brent Risk, the guy's juiced the fuck out. So when you're juiced out, you get tired very, very quick.
I mean, the princess is talking from experience, because we all saw the sparring footage and he was gassed by the end of it. I think it went on for 2 minutes and he was done. He was huffing and puffing. The idea that Azoulay is a natural athlete or a natural bodybuilder is just a bunch of bullshit. Actually, I know it's bullshit because we've exposed that lie too. We had a clip showing how he said that he hopped on gear because it was his other dream to be Mr. Olympia. This guy has a ton of different dreams. One day he wants to be the ruler of the world, and then he wants to be Mr. Olympia. We never really know what he wants to be, okay? But he does have a dream.
Why? Because you get inflated. I used to do steroids when I was a bodybuilder, so I know what it's like. You throw, you go on the bench, you start benching, you get a pump. Well, the same thing when you're punching, you start getting a pump on your shoulders and your arms. This is me off of steroids. 200 pounds, 6% body fat. On steroids, I'm 240, So I know exactly why he got so tired in the last fight. I hope for him that he's not going to take steroids for this fight, but he's going to lose a lot of weight because you could see he had a lot of water weight on him. But he got gassed out. He was dying. Even after the fight, when they were trying, was it you? No, it wasn't you, right? Interviewing him after the fight, it was another gentleman that interviewed him, and he was like dying. He was like, this fight. I run here in the mountains. Most people don't know much about me, but the ones that do, I run in the mountains. I'm like the Jew from the mountains. I live in the mountains. I train with stones, with trees, with bears. This guy is a joke to me.
Oh, so now he's piecing up Smokey the Bear, just give him that 1-2 combo, knockout, and then he's running downhill. He doesn't run uphill, guys, even though he trains in the mountain. He only runs downhill. What type of runner uses downhill training and not hill training? What the fuck is going on? The storytelling that this guy is attempting is unbelievable at this point. He is going wild for this man. He is showing out for this interviewer. The things he is saying are really delusional, even for Azoulay standard. But hey, at least he finally admitted to being on gear. That was something that he used to always lie about. But one thing that does confuse me is that usually a sign that somebody is on gear is like their traps and their shoulders will be massive. But for some reason, the princess has like really small shoulders. If you're like from the bodybuilding world or something, maybe you can comment down below as to why that would be the case, because I don't think I've ever seen anyone be on gear but have extremely small shoulders like Azoulay does.
With bears. This guy is a joke to me. And a lot of people don't know that because I didn't go into the UFC and fought in the UFC. So what? That doesn't mean I'm not a fighter. I break baseball bats with my shin. So I do a lot of jokes online where people don't take me serious. So when I come in and I annihilate him, first round knockout, people are going to be shocked. They're going to say, wait, he paid him. No, wait. This was promised to him 3,000 years ago to this Jew. No. I'm going to break his face in half. I'm going in there and there's nothing going to happen except breaking his face. I thought I want to leave him in a stretcher, but after hearing what he says about my people, I'm going to leave him in a coffin. That's how he's going to leave the arena.
So you and Gypsy both have kind of two polar opposites. You both have very, very different beliefs. How do you think that will affect the fight in terms of the build-up, the aftermath, and even the fight itself?
So, do you know anything about me?
Not too much, no, I'm honest.
Oof, that really hurt him to hear that guy say, I have no idea who you are. You could just see the pain in his eyes when he said that shit. So Azoulay's new strategy is this, okay? We have to keep in mind something, is that apparently all of the bag work, him fighting the UFC guy, all of that is just a manipulation tactic. He doesn't want to give away his strategies. He doesn't want to give away how good of a fighter he is. So he's just tricking everyone. He's really just tricking everyone because you know what? Just because he didn't fight GSP or John Jones, that doesn't mean he's not one of the GOAT fighters of all time. He's just such a good fighter that he didn't even need the UFC. He didn't even need that. That's where bummy ass fighters, okay, the UFC is. That is the reasoning of Azoulay, and it's just going to continue getting worse.
Anything about me?
Not too much, no, I'm honest.
So as you see, I'm not sitting in a broken room. I'm sitting in my brand new Rolls Royce. I live in a $12 million home. I'm worth a lot of money. But just because I made a lot of money in my life, I never stopped training because my real money is my physique. It's my health. This is where my real money is. But I don't have to go in there for this. I'm not getting paid much. I'm literally doing this for my ancestors. My people who died in World War II. Listen, Fred, I don't care where it was, how it was. You bring this guy to me in the cage, outside the cage, I'm going to break his neck in half. This has put so much hate in me. And when I first came onto social media, nobody knew I was Jewish or Israeli. Nobody. Only about 6 months ago did I start speaking in Hebrew and telling people that I'm Jewish, because the people that found out I was Jewish started coming at me with a bunch of death threats, hate, making up so many stories about me, calling me a fucking loser, no money, steroid freak.
You know, flexing your mommy's money as it's yours is not the flex you may think it is, princess, okay? And when is the Rolls Royce eventually not going to be new anymore? Every single time he talks about this brand new Rolls Royce, dude, he's been saying that shit for like a year. Eventually, it's no longer new. It's no longer brand new for that matter, but man, he just tilts his head. Oh, you know, look at this Rolls Royce symbol. I'm so cool. I mean, that shit is corny that a brand is what makes you a man. That shit is so weird to me that people will continue like flexing brands or whatever, Louis Vuitton or Rolls Royce. I mean, that shit doesn't mean anything. I mean, most of these products nowadays, like luxury products, are just absolute dog shit trash. So I don't even know why people flex that stuff.
Understand. Gypsy doesn't even understand. But he's gonna get beat the fuck up, but he's paying for everybody's mistake. Everyone that came against me that I want to kill, he's stepping in the ring. He's going to eat the shit that they gave me. This isn't going to be a regular fight. This is going to be a fight to the point. He's going to sleep. If he wakes up, he wakes up. But if he doesn't wake up, he doesn't wake up. But he's going to sleep. He's pretty much paying for everyone's mistake. Everyone that came after me, everyone that talked bad about my people, he's going to be the first one to do it. He's going to be the first one to pay for it. So I'm coming at him with a lot of anger. A lot of anger. And most people, when they have anger, they lose a fight because they lose control. I have control anger. I know how to channel it properly. This guy is not coming out of that fucking ring. I wish I had more rounds with him. With him, I wish it was an MMA fight. So when he falls to the floor, I could keep beating the shit out of him. I wouldn't even choke him out. He put a lot of hate in my heart.
I wonder when he learned how to control anger. Was it when he was training with the monks or when he was beating off 30 men? I don't know which. Maybe you can comment down below. But you know what? In all seriousness, right? I want to hear your opinion on this. What happens when he loses? And also, does it even matter if he does somehow beat Gypsy Crusader? Because he took an L. He took an L from the ex-UFC fighter, a guy that came into the ring who was hungover, hasn't trained in years, and still beat Azoulay's ass. So I don't even know if it matters or not. That's like the weird like conundrum we're in, where I genuinely sit here and I think, I'm like, does it matter if he KOs Gypsy Crusader? Does it even matter now that the sparring footage leaked? I think that was like really devastating to his whole like fighting LARP, and I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about that.
And this would have been a perfect fight for Andrew Tate, right? Two kickboxers. This would have been a perfect fight for Tate. But it's okay. I took the fight. And after that, I'm going to go avenge Tate.
So it seems... Wait, after that you were going to do what, sorry?
I will avenge Tate.
You mean you want to fight Chase Demore after that?
Yeah.
You have beef with him too?
Chase. Nah, but I have to avenge Tate. I love Tate. Tate's my brother.
What do you think about his recent arrest?
I absolutely hate it. And you're going to hear me after the fight saying, release the Tates. And whatever is needed there, I would do to support them.
So this fight can't...
1,000%. This fight can go anything, but this motherfucker go to sleep.
You know, it's kind of wild actually to think that people like Wes Watson, Andrew, and Tristan Tate, they're all locked up behind bars, but somehow the princess didn't get arrested. That's one thing that does blow my mind, that the princess, he survived. He survived all of the stuff, and he's continuing to make brain rot videos. And that's a new like narrative now where he wants to defend the honor of the Tates. He continues to grovel for their attention. This is something that we've observed for a very long time. But you know what? The interviewer wasn't even paying attention anymore, and I'm sure you're pretty fried now at this point. I mean, 20 minutes is a long time to listen to an AMU episode. So we're gonna cut it off right here. If you enjoyed it, then please be sure to smash that like button, consider subscribing if you're new to the channel, and swing on by the community Discord. Appreciate you spending your time here on your Sunday morning or night, and I'll see you later.